The battle for Serenity Springs. It began with a shriek that could have woken the entire town of Serenity Springs, a quiet suburb nestled in the rolling hills of upstate New York. The cry came from a woman drenched in neon blue water, sprawled in my rose bushes, flailing like she'd been ambushed by a rogue fire hose. But it wasn't a hose. It was my custom-built, motion-activated water turret, loaded with pool-safe dye and aimed at anyone bold enough to trespass. The woman? Patricia Hensley, the self-proclaimed czar of the Serenity Springs Homeowners Association, was caught red-handed, or rather, blue-soaked, after slicing through my backyard fence to sneak into my private pool. I watched it unfold live on my tablet, sipping tea, while my golden retriever, Max, thumped his tail in approval. That moment, with neighbors peeking from their windows and the community chat buzzing, I knew this summer would be unforgettable. I hadn't always been the guy rigging high-tech defenses around my yard. After a car accident left me with chronic back pain, my doctor prescribed swimming for therapy. When I bought this house in Serenity Springs, the pool was my sanctuary, a sparkling oasis behind a solid cedar fence, framed by lilacs and soft solar lights. I wanted peace, but Patricia had other plans. From the day I moved in, she eyed my property like it was her kingdom. With her sharp bob, designer sunglasses, and a notebook she wielded like a gavel, she introduced herself by lecturing me about excessive water usage and HOA regulations. Her smile was colder than a January wind. I shrugged it off, thinking I could handle a nosy neighbor. I was wrong. Patricia's obsession grew fast. First, she peered through my fence slats. Then, she tested my gate, claiming she was checking for stray squirrels. I posted no trespassing signs and upgraded my cameras, but she kept circling, snapping photos, and muttering about community assets. A neighbor, Tom, warned me over lemonade. She's fixated on pools. Thinks the HO should turn yours into a public rec center. She bullied the last guy with a pool into selling. That's when I got creative. Using an old motion sensor from a garage project, I built a water turret hidden in a planter, rigged to fire a high-pressure burst of blue-dyed water at intruders. I didn't think Patricia would break in, but one Sunday morning, she proved me wrong. I was reading the paper when my camera app pinged. There she was, in a black tracksuit and gardening gloves, wielding wire cutters like a cat burglar. She sniffed my fence and crept through. The second her foot tripped the sensor, the turret unleashed a torrent of blue water, hitting her square in the chest. She screamed, stumbled into a sprinkler, and collapsed in a soggy heap, her hair now a vibrant snuff shade. I nearly choked on my toast. Max barked like it was the 4th of July. I uploaded the clip to the neighborhood app with the caption, "Pool privileges revoked." The comments lit up. Is that Patricia? This is gold. She deserved it. Patricia didn't laugh. Soaked and furious, she stormed off, threatening lawsuits and toxic chemical assaults. She returned with the HOA chair, Mr. Larson, who mumbled about unapproved exterior devices. I handed him my permits and a printout of local laws. The turret was legal, non-lethal, and compliant. Larson nodded, avoiding Patricia's glare. She hissed, this fence was faulty anyway, but froze when I played the wire cutter footage. The neighborhood rallied behind me, but I knew Patricia. This was just round one. The fallout was wilder than I expected. By Monday, the video had hit a local Facebook group, racking up thousands of views. Patricia, once the HOA's iron fist, was now a meme. But she wasn't done. At the next HOA meeting, she arrived with a binder of complaints, demanding a ban on hazardous water traps and pitching my pool as a shared resource for the kids. I countered with photos of her fence damage, trespassing timestamps, and my legal permits. The room turned on her. One neighbor asked if I could install a turret to deter deer. Patricia's influence crumbled. Then came the sabotage. One morning, I found my pool glittering with purple sparkles, clogged with foam blocks and sticky syrup. Camera footage showed Patricia tossing bags of junk over my fence at midnight. I called the police, who issued a warning but needed her caught in the act. So, I upgraded again. A second turret, green dye, and a speaker blaring. Intruder alert. You are recorded. I added UV reactive dye that glowed under sunlight. When Patricia returned, sneaking under the fence in a raincoat and goggles, the new turret blasted her. The raincoat burst, green dye soaked her, and the speaker echoed through the night. She fled, tripping into the grass. Neighborhood kids filmed it, and the clip went viral on Instagram, complete with cartoon sound effects. The real twist came from Mrs. Ellis, a longtime resident. Over coffee, she revealed Patricia's plan. The HOA once dreamed of a community center with a pool, and my property was the prime target. Patricia aimed to harass me into selling. Armed with this, I fortified my defensive vibration sensors, solar cameras, and a third turret with rainbow dye. I also collected neighbor testimonies about Patricia's bullying. Her final move was a city inspector, summoned with tales of dangerous installations. I gave him a tour, showed my permits, and demonstrated the turrets. He laughed, saying, "I saw a video of a lady getting doused in blue. That you?" He left with no violations. Patricia's last straw snapped. I filed a restraining order and a lawsuit against her and complicit HOA members. In court, my lawyer played the videos. Patricia's screams filled the room. The judge issued the order, fined her for damages, and mandated an HOA audit. The board resigned, and a new leader, Mrs. Clara, took over, restoring fairness. Patricia moved out a month later. Her house sat empty, her reign over. We threw a block party, dubbed the Serenity Splash, with grills, music, and a turret shooting confetti. The neighborhood felt alive again. I converted one turret into a fountain, another into a garden ornament. The third stays active, with a sign, "Trespassers will be refreshed." It's a local legend now, a reminder of the summer we fought for our peace. The pool is mine again, a quiet haven. Max lounges by the water, and I swim under the stars, free from Patricia's shadow. Standing up to her wasn't just about my yard, it was about showing bullies that entitlement has limits. Sometimes, it takes a splash of neon water to make that clear. What do you think? Was the turret justice or overkill? Have you faced a bully like Patricia? Share your thoughts below. Let's talk about standing up to injustice and where we draw the line.